You guys are cute. Some of you guys are real cuties. Okay, okay, alright. Villagers is the project of singer-songwriter Conor O'Brien. And I've been conscious of this band for, I want to say, over a year now, when Conor O'Brien, back in 2009, actually emailed me telling me about a debut EP he released under the Villagers name. And even though the song seemed really heavily influenced by Bright Eyes and Elliott Smith, the 4 songs on that thing were kind of a breath of fresh air. The musicianship was something to admire, and the vocal delivery really struck a chord with me without being overly dramatic. Plus, the lyrics are assuringly well read. And on first listen, I fell in love with the track off that release, The Meaning of the Ritual. So that was that. I enjoyed it, I blogged it, I recommended it to some friends, and after that, I didn't know if anything would come of the project. I just know I dug it at the time and it was pretty freaking good. So a little while ago I was surprised when I saw that Domino Records picked Villagers' first full-length album up. Yeah, that made me kind of feel like my taste isn't totally garbage. So what we have here on Becoming a Jackal is some acoustic guitar songs with a lot of raw emotion, something where the lyrics pretty much take precedent over everything, almost as if it's the type of music that is set to poetry, not vice versa. And on these 44 minutes and 11 tracks, Villagers display more drama than a theatrical tragedy, battling themes revolving around love and loneliness and introspection. Conor O'Brien does sing in the first person quite a bit. He may not necessarily be singing about himself, but still, singing in the first person. And whether he's pointing the mirror at himself or some kind of character he's coming up with, the image isn't all that pretty. Like on the tracks The Pact or Becoming a Jackal, there's not a lot of self-loathing, there's not a lot of self-hatred. It's more like acknowledging one's problems but not really making the effort to fix them. I would offer my help, but I'm not a licensed professional. If there's one strength I have to pull out of this LP, it's most definitely variation. We have a rotating cast of instruments just sort of taking turns being at the lead of the instrumentation in a given track. Electric guitar, acoustic guitar, we have piano, we have string arrangements, we have horns, a sea of horns in fact on the rework of Meaning of the Ritual, soft percussion, heavy percussion. There's just a lot going on with this album. And there's one release that I couldn't help but think about for a majority of this album, and that's the Bright Eyes LP, Lifted. Yeah, this thing really reminded me of Lifted. If you're into that album, I highly recommend that you check this thing out, because it has a lot of the same strengths as that release, but also, in my opinion, it suffers a lot of the same faults too. For example, for me, on Becoming a Jackal, there are a lot of points where the production, the instrumentation, feels so separated from the vocals that it's almost as if Conor O'Brien is just playing karaoke over his own songs. Hollow-Kind is just bounds more natural, without a doubt. However, this new release still has a lot to admire as a full-length debut. O'Brien really has translated his songwriting and song structuring talents to record, and he's produced a lot of standout moments too. I'm in love with about half of these tracks, and it's for the same reasons that I'm down with projects like the Mountain Goats, Smog, Simon Joyner, and Silver Jews. Just sweet melodies, poetic lyrics, and the frontmen are borderline mental cases. But there are a few lows on this LP for me, despite the fantastic production, great songwriting, and great sounds. For example, the whole karaoke thing I mentioned. Also, some songs really just end abruptly, which just offends the hell out of me, especially on the precipice of the climax, on The Meaning of the Ritual, with all the horns and all the strings just swelling and then it just conks out. That just feels like a cop-out to me. It makes me want to shoot myself. Also, some other abrupt endings on this LP too kind of make me feel like, yeah, that's conceptual, but does it sound nice? Is it enjoyable? No, not really. And to be completely honest, this thing does drown in its influences quite a bit. And I'm kind of feeling a I'm feeling a strong 6 on it. Yeah, strong 6. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am with this LP. Some loves, some likes, and a few hates. But if you're looking for some strong songwriting with dark, tortured, poetic lyrics, stuff that's just gonna break your heart, this is where you want to be. And if you've heard this album, let me know what you think of it. Do you love it? Do you hate it? And why? Anthony Fantano, Villagers, Becoming a Jackal, forever.